What's up? What's up? What's up? Test this live out. It's gonna be my first live. Well, no, second live on this channel. Saw my friend Emma do a live earlier, and I was like, you know what? I need to get on live. Yeah, so my friend Emma was doing a great live earlier. So I'm like, I need to be getting on live more, especially since I hit 1,000 subscribers. Maybe last month or so. So I definitely want to thank you guys for that. 1,000 subscribers, great milestone to have on a YouTube channel. Believe it or not, a lot of channels do not make it to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Um, Mostly because they give up. But that's not going on around here. This channel is a long-term goal, a long-term thing in planning for this channel. So it's not just one or two videos here and there. This channel is something I'm going to be doing for years and years, as long as I'm alive, until they come out with a new platform that's better than YouTube. But then still, I'll probably still be posting on YouTube. So this channel is long term. So it's not about a few videos, but 1,000 subscribers. Definitely appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys for all the support I've been getting, the DMs, emails. Appreciate it. And I'm trying to create something on this channel to where we can come on here, Liberians, or Africans, Americans, white people, anything, just come together. Just because the channel Liberian Connection doesn't mean others are not welcome. So got a lot of plans for this channel. I know it's going a little slow, but right now I'm just using it to document things I'm doing in Liberia. And I'm doing so to motivate, inspire, and hopefully get others on board. So that's my main goal for this channel. And of course, to document the process. You know, life goes by so fast that we change, we progress, um, we go through things, and to be able to document the process and look back at it and reflect, truly one of the greatest joys of life. So, hopefully, years and years from now, I can look back on this channel and see how it all started. Even though it's still very new in the process. Um, it's something that when we talk about Liberia, this work in Liberia, it can't get done in one lifetime. I'm sorry. There's too much work to be done. So this is something that we have to inspire the next generation to take over and go with it. I don't know where to begin. I hate to come on here and say Liberia's in last place, but when it comes to our brothers in the West, I'm pretty sure we're last place. So, how did it start? Why do I want to invest in Liberia? Why do I go back to Liberia? Why do I come on here talking about Liberia? Where's the inspiration come from? 'Cause when they look at me, they say that white man, white man coming back to Liberia to do. But I was born in Liberia right before the war, and my mother's side, Liberian, that crown people, and my father was German electrician, engineer, working the country. Liberia back then, I mean, obviously that's when I was born, but when I hear people talk about Liberia back then, it really sounds like the promised land. Like Liberia was really on the right track. And the war destroyed that country. But I was born right before the war. Um, Obviously, like I said, my on my mother's side, my family is Kron. So the Kron people were target of a lot of violence. So actually, my brothers, I got two brothers, one sister. they're just like me. We're all light complexion. So even a lot of times they will even say that because our complexion, so they rebel. They didn't really target them. You know, they didn't know. When people say that crown people, they're that crown people, they didn't believe them because look at us, we look white like this. So who would think that crown people? But um, that's what saved my family. So my brothers will go out, they will go and get food during the war, and you know, they got stories. They got stories. So a part of the reason I'm able to go back so freely is because when I was younger, I was a baby. So even though there was things going on around me, I didn't really, I wasn't aware. Obviously, I didn't know what I saw. If I did see anything, it didn't register. So I'm able to go back to Liberia and not have those traumatic moments. But I know for my siblings, because we all just started going back. My sister went about 8 years ago, I think 8, 10 years ago. But after that, she didn't really go back. And my brothers, they just went back this year. I believe it was early this year for the first time in like 20 years. So yeah, traumatic moments for people going back to Liberia. But like a lot of other Liberians who went to Ghana, Ivory Coast, Senegal, and then finally went to Gambia. So I was living in Gambia. I remember living in Senegal. I was living in Senegal for 1 year. And in Gambia, I was living in Gambia for about 5 years. I was living. So when I was younger, I did a lot of moving around. I was moving around from country to country to country. So a lot of Liberians share the same story, moving a lot. Obviously, a lot of Liberians stay. They camp in Ghana, refugee camp, but some people want to move. So we went to Gambia, and then from there, that's what one day, what they call it, the lottery refugee program to come to America. So at that time, when I came to America, I was 9 years old, and I don't know. I'm definitely gonna write a book about this someday because I feel like when you have a story as interesting and unique as mine, you got to put it out there. So I'm definitely gonna write a book. But the whole time I was living in Africa, living in Gambia, living in all these places, obviously I look very different from people that do live in those places. People from Gambia and places like that. A lot of people from West Africa they look the same, not the same, but more darker tone. So when you get light over here, they say light skin. But you're in Africa, no light skin. They just call you white man. I only one thing to them: you either black or you white. So growing up, I wasn't even like aware. It's not like they treat me necessarily different. Like in Gambia, they would say tubab, tubab, like white man. I didn't feel like I was different because obviously I went to school. It was all other Africans. There wasn't really a mixture. So I was just kind of blended in. But I know people call me tubab, white man, all this thing. But as soon as you come to America, the whole narrative changes. It's crazy how that works. So that's why I say I want to write a book one day. In America, they say once you get small bit of black in you, then a black man. So I live in Africa until I was 9 years old. They call me white man, tubab. And then I come to America. As soon as I came to America, the white people said, "How dare you call yourself white? Never call yourself white, boy." So it's like a whole paradigm shift. Like you on the opposite now. You live in Africa for your whole life. They said that white man. Then you come to America. They said no, that black man. But then that's not even the end of it. They said that black man, but because you're from Africa, you're not really black. Like you kind of black, but you're not black. You're really African, so we're just gonna call you African. But you can still hang with us because the white people they're never gonna claim you. As long as you got a small little bit of black in you, they're not gonna claim you. So even though we're saying black, but you're not really black, you're African. So there's a lot of labeling, a lot of stereotyping going on, and from somebody who really um, you know, didn't even know as far as categories you being placed over here, like I said, in Africa they say, "Oh, white man, tubab," thing like that. But I was never really treated different. Maybe because I was younger, I didn't know it. But when I came here, it was an instant shift. And a lot of those things, not even just for the color thing, but a lot of Africans when they come here at that age, when you're like 10, or even when you're a teenager, um, it's such a big change Then nobody really sit you down and explain to you these things because a lot of times your parents they don't even know what's going on. But I've seen a lot of even other African kids I was going to school with going through the struggles. Some of those kids that even came here were even fighting in the war. Some of those kids were fighting in the war. Then they somehow made it through coming refugee program and all those things, and then they come over here and even something like wearing red bandana, blue bandana. Then the other kids would be like, "Oh, Bloods, Crip." Those kids they don't even know what's going on. They came from the war. Some of them even fighting the war. Some of them killed people. They come here. They used to wearing red, blue bandana, anything. But those Americans, red, blue, those things mean something over here. Back there, they don't mean nothing. They're just colors. So a lot of times, people not sitting down and not really telling you these things like, be prepared for this. You can't do this thing, this thing. They just throw you out there. Boom, throw you out there. And to my parents that are watching this, if y'all in that situation, y'all come here, y'all got kids that are at that crucial age between, anywhere from 10 years old to 20 years old. Um, you really got to pay attention to the kids. You got to pay attention to them. You can't be so busy and just running your life and just trying to make money. And that's what happens over and over and over. That's the regular story. Um, you come here, you come from a poor country, you didn't have opportunity to work, make money. So as soon as you come to America, now you working two jobs, three jobs. You're doing that one. You're leaving the children. The children are going to school. They're going to this. That. You don't even know what those kids are going through. You're just so busy working, working, working. It happened with a lot of African families. It happened to me. My mom was working two jobs, and not to blame the parents, but they themselves don't know. They're not aware. So looking back now, when I can reflect on that, how my life transitioned without even knowing what I was being thrown into, is rough. It's rough. Um, get mixed up in a lot of things. Started off with innocent things, but it progressed. It graduated. And when I was 17 years old, I lost my mom right before I turned 17. And my whole life just went downhill. All the things I was doing, the friends, the bad stuff, it just kind of evolved. It evolved. Let me see if I can see some. I don't know if this thing even let me um, see any chats or anything like that. Yeah. So my life, my life transition, man. You know what? I didn't even get no feedback from anybody to see if anything. Y'all can hear me good. I hope y'all can hear me for real. I hope you can. Y'all people that watching, give a thumbs up if y'all can hear me, because I don't even know what the messages are. Or leave a message, say something, so I know everybody hearing me. Y'all leave a message. Let me see if y'all hearing me. I come on this live acting like I don't know how to use it, but I'm using a phone. That's why I'm using my laptop. But I see some thumbs up, so hopefully that means y'all can hear me. Hopefully that means y'all can hear me. Yeah. So when I lost my mother, I mean, my life just went downhill. From that time, from 17 years old, by the time I was 19, I was already in prison. I was already in prison doing a 2-year sentence. And a lot of my friends, a lot of people I grew up with, they went through the same mix. Um, Only thing, a lot of them even got deported. Only thing that helped me out, my mother became a citizen before she passed. God bless her soul. So when those people, when they were trying to deport me, they couldn't do it because legally, as long as I was a minor, I fell under her. So I was technically a citizen. So, you know, um, once I proved my status, I was in immigration jail. They let me out. But I have some friends that didn't make it through. And even when I was younger, I remember some of my brother's friends, they got deported back. So uh, the deportation, um, the deportation thing is serious. And I'll tell you another story for next time. Y'all just make sure y'all be following the channel. 'Cause when I went back to Africa, man, some of the people that I got deported when they find out American man coming or something like that. Maybe not so much in Liberia, but I go to Sierra Leone too. I go to Sierra Leone, and when the people find out American coming back, they all try to run and come meet you, say what's up. But that was kind of cool. But seeing how I could have ended up back home. Not saying that's a horrible thing, but at least now I get to go on my own terms. I didn't just get sent back. Um, yeah, sorry, y'all bear with me for a little bit. I'm trying to. Okay. Yeah. So ended up doing 2 years in prison. Pretty much just I don't know. Didn't really have a direction in life. Definitely wasn't thinking about going back to Liberia, going back to Africa. That was the last thing on my mind. As far as I was concerned, I was American. I grew up over here. The people say I'm American. They didn't deport me, so I'm American. So when I come on here, I try to speak my colloquial. When I'm talking to my family, my grandma, obviously we speaking the colloquial. But other than that, I live an average American life. I blend in pretty well. When I tell people I'm from Africa, I'm from Liberia, they're actually surprised. So I really had no reason to go back to Liberia. Um, it was only till much later on. Let's see, I just went back to Liberia for the first time, what, 3 years ago? So around the time after my late 20s, or during my late 20s, that's why I really started to feel like, man, I wonder what back home is like. I'm hearing all these stories, I'm hearing all these things, mostly negative. People don't want you to go back. But at that time, I couldn't go because I still had to make sure I get my American passport because I had my immigration attorney. That attorney said, "Do not leave this country until you get your American passport." Even though they're saying you got this certain status, whatever. But if you go and you don't have an American passport and they don't let you back in, then you have a problem. So that's the reason I didn't go back to Liberia. I didn't go back to Africa. But as soon as I got my passport, 'cause I was fighting for that, not fighting for the passport, but it still make you prove your status. So as soon as I got my passport, literally, I went from the immigration place right to the passport office. Talk about when I got naturalized. I got naturalized. I went right to the passport office, got my passport, booked my flight probably like 2, 3 days later, and I went to Africa. I went to Sierra Leone. One of my friends was there, and we rode together into Liberia, and that was my first time going back. So I'm gonna put together a proper video for that. The other video I have on my channel going back to Africa was more like a business perspective. It wasn't sharing my thoughts, my feelings, things that I'm sharing with you guys right now. So I definitely got to make um, one of those videos. But when I went back to Africa over there, I mean, I knew things were rough, but what really killed it for me, I went to Sierra Leone first. I was in Sierra Leone for a couple weeks, and then my friend and I drove into Liberia. And Sierra Leone, compared to Liberia, Sierra Leone's doing a lot better. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I know there's a lot of stories out there. People say, "Oh no, no, Sierra Leone doing bad too. Guinea doing bad. This one." Sierra Leone compared to Liberia, Sierra Leone is doing better. And it was more of a shock to me because I came from Sierra Leone, and when I came to Liberia, somewhere so close, I mean, the distance you have Sierra Leone cities that are very close to the border, so we're neighbors. We shouldn't be that much difference. That's like me having my house here and the person get a house next door to me. They're gonna be similar houses. When you go to these neighborhoods, the houses look very similar. You're not gonna see two-bedroom house and five-bedroom house. No, it's not gonna work like that. So when I came from Sierra Leone and I went to Liberia, I was more shocked at the progress that Sierra Leone has made. Not saying that I'm comparing it to a time I've been there before. I'm just talking about, we all know West Africa, these areas, Sierra Leone, Liberia, these are third world countries. But when I was in Sierra Leone, there was less dirt on public spaces. All the public spaces, the streets were paved. Um, there was more development going on. The traffic, there was more structure to it. I've seen a few roundabouts. So when I went to Liberia, I was trying to look for, comparisons. And yeah, Sierra Leone is on a better page compared to Liberia. So that made me come back home and just start doing research, see how I can get involved in Liberia. Follow a few channels, YouTube channels. That's what made me want to start this YouTube channel. Because if it wasn't for YouTube and being able to meet some people, like my friend Emma, then it wouldn't have been as easy for me to get involved. So I went there out there looking for it, looking for like-minded individuals, looking to network, looking to find people who are trying to make a change in Liberia. So when I went back home to Liberia and just being over there for a couple weeks, I quickly understood that the people in Liberia have a different mindset. Like when you come to America and you've been exposed to the Western world, you develop a different way of thinking because of your environment. But a lot of these people, they didn't seem like they could relate to a lot of those things. Um, Obviously, a lot of people in Liberia, they just worry about their next meal. Um, it's almost like, when you watch like the Discovery Channel and the animals. That's the difference between human and animals. Animals only worry about feeding themselves. Have you ever watched Discovery Channel? That's all animals do. Not saying that Liberians are animals. I'm just saying people in Liberia, when they wake up, they're going to work to make food. The average Liberian, they're working to feed themselves. In America, you really can't say that. You don't see a lot of people that say, "I'm working to feed myself." You know, um, so these people are not going to be able to make a change. I quickly realized that change will have to come from the outside. But there's such a negative narrative, especially among Liberians. When you want to go back to Liberia, they're telling you no, they're discouraging you. Even I heard that, even from some of my own family. You wouldn't believe it. I want to go back to Liberia. Oh, what you want to go to that place for? Huh? That place that? Huh? The people will do this, they'll do that, they'll do that. We don't even think what we're doing to the country, the long term effect of after we say that to enough people not going back, that does have a lasting effect on the country. And I think that's one of the biggest differences that separates Liberia from the other countries in the West as far as progress. I've never heard Nigerians, Ghanaians, Senegalese tell each other not to go back home. It's a very strange thing. Very strange. So when people tell me don't go back, you're not going back. But I did it. I went back to Africa myself. Like I said, I had one of my friends from Sierra Leone. We rode together, but I wasn't about to wait for somebody to say, "Oh, let my sister come, let my brother come, let me bring the old man." Wait for all the situations, everything to be right. I'm a young man in my prime. I lived through the streets in America. I survived through prison. You think I can't go back to Liberia? I wasn't buying that. I went back, and every year after that, I've gone back. But that's not to say I didn't hear all the negativity. Don't go back, don't do this one. I literally had people call me on Facebook when they heard I was going back and call me and be like, yo, be careful, watch out, watch your back. Like, you know, I appreciate the concern, but some of y'all take it overboard. Now, if I hear somebody trying to go back to Liberia, yeah, you can give them some pointers. Of course. Oh, don't take your phone out, they will jack your phone. That's fair. But to say don't go back, oh, what you want to go to that place for? Hey, that place that? You just come here and just forget it all. So I wish that my family, some of my older family members, extended family members, somebody would have, you know, really talked to me, told me how important it is to come to this country and use the country, use the resources. But eventually, the ultimate goal is to, bring it back home and try to make a change. We don't have those conversations. I can't remember one time, and I have a lot of family that came to America. I can't remember one time somebody telling me that, you know what, come to their country, yeah, do this, go to school, work, you'll know your money, Liberia, it's an up and coming country. It used to be this and that. If you were to invest your money there now, in the future, you'll be happy. This, that. These conversations do not happen. We come back here, and that's it. And a lot of my older family members, they don't go back to Liberia at all. If they go back one time every 10 years, you're lucky to see them. Say they don't go back when they go on vacation. Europe, Mexico, Bahamas. They will go to Europe. They will fly over Africa and go to Europe. You'll see them in Greece. They'll be on Facebook, selfie in Greece. They're not going to Liberia. They're flying over Liberia. Some of them will go to Ghana. Ghana said they will go to Ghana. They will be right next door to their own country. They will not go back to Liberia. So these conversations don't take place. And, sometimes you got to live through certain things to be able to replay moments in your head. And when I sit back and I think of it, I'm thinking like, why didn't any of my family, why didn't anybody tell me, why didn't anybody give me that encouragement to say, go back home, go invest. There's a great time. You could buy land cheap. These conversations don't happen. Instead, they tell you, huh, that place that, be careful. That they will come to their country. They'll work their whole lives. They will try to save for 401k. They will work, 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 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Some of them can die working, said they would die. They could die working. But the next man would see that as motivation. Say, huh, this man, yeah, I would kind of work harder than him. The man, he died working me. I come and work harder than him. I will show him. So very strange, very strange, disturbing, but interesting. So I felt like I had to, you know, do something. Not only invest, but if we're gonna make a real change, how much can one person do? So a way that I can make a real difference on a larger scale, way beyond what I could do by myself, is to influence others on a massive scale, a massive level. Only then will we have change on a massive level. So we got a lot of work to do. And when I go back, I mean, it's like bittersweet when I go back because I go back home, you know, uh, people speaking my language, um, even some people like some of my other family members that never left Liberia. They're surprised we like some of the younger ones we can even speak Colloqua. But like I said, I grew up in a Liberian household. You know, I didn't grow up in Liberia, so that's the language. When you see my Oma, yeah, still to this day, she can't even speak Cerise, not proper Cerise. When she talking, people looking at her. They know they still not understanding. So that's how I grew up. I grew up with speaking that. I just came here. We learned the series. We blend in. So now we just think about ourselves like Americans. But when I go back home, it's good to, be back to the place where I came from, place where it all started. I know my mom had great love for Liberia, so being able to come back home and invest and motivate others um, is also, um, you know, shows my appreciation to my mom and everybody who came before me or had an impact in us coming over here to America. Some of the family members that didn't get to make it over here, kind of owe it to them to come back and do something. But they're all very, very surprised. I'll tell you guys that now. When people here, you coming back to Liberia to invest. Not only the people in America surprised, but the people in Liberia surprised too, because it's so common for us to just leave and not come back that um, they're surprised. They're surprised when you come back. Um, and as parents, I hope y'all that's watching this, if y'all have kids in that age range that I mentioned, you really need to be having these talks with them. Not only talks about, things they're going through over here in America, because now, thank God I wasn't a kid during this time. Damn, these kids might be traumatized. So much stuff going on, thanks to the internet mostly, but it's very traumatic. You need to talk to your kids. But if you Liberian and your kids came here at a younger age, you need to talk to these kids, man. These kids gonna grow up to not want anything. Somebody left me a comment. I don't know how to work this, and I can't see. Oh, yeah, okay, okay. Now I'm seeing it. Okay, I know how to work it a little bit now. Yeah, so y'all need to be talking to your kids because not only they might be traumatized, but if you want them to go back home and do something and invest, then it's not just gonna happen out of thin air. You gotta initiate that. And you might even have to lead by example. So you don't have to be rich. We're showing you guys that with a lot of these community projects we're involved with. When we come together, it eases the burden. It makes it easier because you're working with other like-minded individuals because the road is bumpy. It's not smooth. It's not smooth. It's a bumpy road. So it takes a lot of dedication, motivation. So it helps when you're around other like-minded individuals. But y'all need to tell y'all kids if y'all want them to do that, be intentional about it. Talk to them about how important it is to go back and invest back home, buy land, do this, do that. So many different things you can do to help your country. But not even just Liberians, a lot of Africans, because I work with customers and I have a lot of customers from Nigeria and different parts of West Africa, and you wouldn't believe how many times the people will tell you, "We work so hard to come to this country to try to give our kids a better life, but those kids don't want a damn thing. Those kids grow up to be losers. They just want to stay home, watch Netflix. Like they not even knowing the struggles you went through in your country to bring them over here because you're not having those conversations with them. You're making it too easy for them." But I hear that over and over and over. People tell me, "Man, my son, they don't want to do this. They don't want to do nothing. They can't keep no job." Embarrassment, disgrace. So Talk to your kids if that's what y'all want to do. If that's what you want them to do, come back home, invest. I mean, that's what I'm gonna be raising my kids to do. I'm not gonna put in all this work and then it just stops right there. It's something that I have to keep going. Um, Chris said, "I'd like to know more about the upcoming projects." Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be. I'm trying to get my friend Emma on a live so we could talk about that. We got a new community going on over there in Charlesville by the airport, so I will be doing a live. I'm gonna get her on here so we can talk more about that. If you guys send me an email about that community, I'm gonna be following up with people next week because that's when I'm probably trying to do the live next week or next weekend. But yeah, a lot of opportunities coming up. And if you're not prepared for this opportunity, you might be ready for the next one or the one after that. But don't wait too long. Procrastination is the killer of dreams. It really is. Um, so on a short note, 30-minute short note, that's how I got involved in investing back home in Liberia. It was me first having the interest to see what my country is like, going back home, seeing that there's a need for change. There's, I mean, it's a beautiful country, and the resources are there. Um, the people, it's a great place. Tourists would love the area. So I don't understand. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. But we have to put our heads together because what I'm afraid of is the rest of the world leaving us so far back that you're more vulnerable. Whenever you need other countries, you need other people, you're back, you're lacking, you're vulnerable. You're very vulnerable. People can come in and they can buy you out for pennies on the dollar. Especially how our government system is. No corruption. I mean, it's almost like West Africa is like known for corruption, man. When you tell people you from Liberia or any of those countries, how do people know you corrupt? Oh, that country. Oh, Liberia. Cool. Yeah, you guys are super corrupt. Like, damn, how do these people know that? Sheesh. You watch a CNN or something. How they know we so corrupt? But I feel like with enough eyes on it, with enough people actually caring, and with enough people that have the knowledge of how to make a change, the will to make a change, then that's how change is initiated. It's not an overnight process. We have to start from somewhere, and bringing attention to the situation. That's a good start. Now, I'm not politically affiliated. I don't come on this channel and talk politics because I feel like it's kind of um, I don't want to say dumb, but like over in America, there's a system. We don't care who is the president. It could be a clown show, depending on who's the president, but it doesn't affect our lives. But it seems like in Liberia, people think that you know whoever this president or that president is going to drastically change their lives, and I'm trying to figure out how is that going to happen. It hasn't happened none of those other times, so I don't want to talk about it because I don't want you to not listen to my message because I'm supporting this person and you support the other person. So now, even though I'm coming on here and I'm speaking the truth, I'm saying things that need to be said. You're not going to agree with that message because I'm affiliated with this party and you're affiliated with that party. That's the same thing that happens in Liberia. You watch those guys, the Congress in their parliament building, and those dudes are about to wrestle. They're about to straight out fight, like box, boom, boom, fight. Like, no, I'm not about to have that fight with you guys. I don't care. Like, go out, go vote, support who you support. But at the end of the day, if another Liberian has a good plan and that person's putting in work, they got action behind it, I'm gonna follow them. Just don't make it about politics. Let's not divide each other more. Let's come together. So, hence the name of this channel, Liberian Connection. Bring people and Liberians together, and eventually bring people to Liberia. Um, but right now, we're not ready to do that on a massive scale. We're not. So I started out by coming on here to thank you guys for the 1,000 subscribers. Decided to share my story a little bit with you guys. I hope you guys know a little bit more about me now. And I mentioned it earlier that this channel is a long-term goal of mine. It's something that I'm going to be doing for um, as long as I'm alive, as long as YouTube is around, because not only do I want to document my process, um, everything that I'm doing in Liberia, but I want to motivate and inspire you guys along the way. Just an average person, just like you guys. Um, there was nothing going for me that I should have been back home in Liberia. I should have forgot about Liberia, leave Liberia in my rear view mirror. Um, Everything in my life, all the forces in my life were pulling me away. Nothing was pushing me back. So if I can go back, then what's stopping y'all? You know, um, and it's something that you know I've gotten passionate about. And going back home, and even when I do little things, when I give people gifts, I give kids things, just seeing their appreciation, it lets me know that's this is something I want to do. I want to really do, and hopefully I can use this platform to reach more of us, to get more of us on board, um, share more of our stories, because we all have unique stories from Liberia. That's what makes Liberian people so interesting. Especially some of us, we came to America. There's a story to be told, and if you can go back home and give back to your country, then it seems like a successful story to me. So join me on this channel, join me on the movement. Um, I appreciate your motivation from the sidelines. I appreciate your applause, but I would much rather have you on the field with me. Your time might not be now, but sometimes you can't wait for the perfect moment. There's literally no such thing as a perfect moment. So I'd like to see you guys on the court one day. There's only so much high fives, clapping, butt smacks you could do till you have to score some buckets. So, um, yeah, I got some great videos to drop on this channel. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. Um, Share it with some Liberians, some like-minded people. Even share it with some of your foreign friends. Americans are very interested in Liberia, especially the ones that know Liberia's history. They're very interested. So when you have some American friends, tell them about Liberia. Tell them come watch this channel. Say, yeah, you see, they got white men from Liberia. Let me see. I didn't even y'all just rocking with my story. Y'all just vibing. Nobody really asking no questions. I like you guys. You guys are the perfect audience. Um, Emma, you still here? Pod Nutbag C, my boy. Yeah, I be watching uh the Papa Nutbag. I'll be watching, man. Great job on the home, man. I really enjoy watching those development videos. I really do. And your house is definitely coming together. Um, Diaspora King, what can you do to help? Um, I mean, right now, man, just follow the channel, support me in that way. Um, there's so many things I have planned for Liberia, nonprofit, um, lot of different ways to give back to people that does not include making money. I know when people say nonprofit, there's usually profit behind it, but we do have some charity plans also. On a larger scale, I do stuff now. I take stuff back when I go home, little things to give people and stuff, but I'm trying to impact more people. So right now, I don't really have a call to action for you. If some people are interested in building in Liberia, if you're on that level and you're ready to build within a year or two in Liberia, then stay tuned for the live that I'll probably be doing sometime this week or next weekend. Talk about our new community. If you guys been following the channel, you know I'm in that Brewville community. So if you guys are at the point where you're ready to build a house, maybe in another year or 2 years, and you want to start laying the foundation for that now, then we'd love to have you in the community. But other than that, I don't really have a call to action right now. Just stay tuned, follow the channel. There's going to be a lot more to come. Right now, we're just crawling. Um, everything is about money. So um, the better we do on this side, the more we can do in Liberia, the faster we can speed up the process. So right now, I mean, unless you guys are ready to build your house, buy land, stuff like that, I mean, just support me from the sidelines. Follow the channel, share it, come on your comment, like. Um, that's about it. I just come on here to share my story with you guys, and when I start doing lives, I'll love to bring some of you guys on here to share your stories, so we can come on here and we could talk. But let me know some other ideas too for videos that you guys want to see. I want to bring my grandma on the channel. She's funny. You guys would, I mean, they all my funny. Even next year, I'm taking her back to Liberia. Um, she's getting old. She's 84 years old. So I want to go back to Liberia with her and experience that with her. We don't know how long our parents or grandparents be alive. So that's something I want to experience with my grandma, going back to Liberia with her, um, where it all started, where we came from. Um, that's something I wish I could do with my mom. But since my grandma's still here, I want to take Oma to Liberia next year. So definitely can't wait for that. And I'm definitely going to be journaling the process and taping it for you guys because they're all my funny. They're all my. If you see how she's talking to those people, the white people, everything that white man, huh? Look at that white man. When they see my drone, when I fly in my drone, I take my drone to Africa, I fly it around and stuff. They'll say, look at white man. They think that when they're white man can make them they know there was a lot of black people that invented things. Anything they say, look at white man, look at anything white man do. Isn't it crazy how we just glorify the white man from birth without even knowing it? We just come at everything like if we see something amazing, that white man. Something like, damn, how's that work? That white man. Almost sound like magic. The white man like magic. And go back to the slavery mentality. It's crazy. But yeah, guys, if you guys aren't really asking no questions, so you guys just must be here for the story. Ask Anna. I have my teenage son here now. I tell him all the time, get educated, make money, and go back to help our people. Yes, exactly. And then, but you have to force these kids. You have to take them if they're still minors. Man, you better forcefully take them kids back to Africa. If you ask them, they're never gonna go on their own. They're so spoiled over here. Huh? You might not tell them that Liberia not get constant electricity and that Liberia not get 5G. If you say those two things, no constant electricity, no 5G, then I come and go. See, when I tell them, they keep it a secret. When they get it, they'll be surprised. But take them, show them some other things. Don't just make it like a mindless trip. Okay, we in Liberia, let's go to the pool, let's go swimming, let's go. Nah, go take them around, let them mingle with some locals, let them see how good they have it in America, how lucky they are, and then show them. No matter how much you try to blend into America, no matter how much serious you speak in America, that's not where you're really from. This where you're really from. So if you could leave this place better off than when you met it, then as far as your country is concerned, you are a success in their eyes. But if you come to America, you do get all the success in America. You get all the money in America. Your people not taste one bit of that money. Your people in Liberia. Some of us, we get family in Liberia. They never left that place. They gotta be calling us on Facebook Messenger for money, small money. You come here, you get all that money. You touch all that money. The people in Liberia not taste one piece of it. Then is that really a success? I mean, financially wise, you might be good, but never gave back to your people. You never helped your country. Some of y'all would even be ashamed. You're not even said type of you from Liberia. Nobody must know. Your series, you have mastered the series so good that they would say, the American man that you not even said tell people, oh, that Liberia from. You'll be ashamed. Liberia, your friend coming go on Google. Google Liberia. Oh, warlords, they eating people. So some of y'all can't even say make you feel weird. You just wanna move on, let it wither away. Don't worry. If we don't think about it, it's gonna go away. It's not gonna go away. Where are you going? Going where? That whole country is not gonna go away just because you don't think about it. It's still there. At the end of the day, that's where you're from. Somebody might put you on blast one day. Oh, this dude from Liberia. Now what you would say? No, 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 that's not me. You got the wrong person. You got the wrong guy. Some of y'all still get this, yeah, the thick, thick Liberian accent. When people ask you, "Oh wow, where you from?" Wait, what do you mean where I'm from? I'm American. Your thick Liberian accent. Your thick Liberian accent. When people say, "Oh," you want to see some of y'all. Some of y'all can know a Liberian. When I hear Liberian English, even you try to mask it, I got an ear for Liberian English. When I hear it, even y'all trying to speak that series, when I hear it, I know. I know where you from. So when I ask you, I will ask you my series. I will not even say ask you my Liberian English. I will ask you my series. Where you from? Oh, where you mean where I'm from? I'm from Minnesota. I'm from North Carolina. Oh, that New York I coming from. That New York you coming from? You? That New York? Not Liberia you coming from? Oh, how you know about Liberia? Don't worry about that. Pull your card. What, you ashamed of your country? Clearly like African man, when they say where you coming from, you come and call all the states. You will name all the 50 states. New York? No, no. Jersey? No, no. DC? No, no. When the real answer, where you coming from? And I'm like, bro, oh, okay. You'll call all the states first. But I some of y'all can be acting. I think my guy Jefferson, Liberian TV Network, he even said I was with him on live. I didn't even have my channel back then. It was on live, and you know, Jefferson usually tell me like, this guy here, this guy, look at him. This guy, first of all, he don't look like Liberian. When a man speak, the series he's speaking, they'll say that American man. So if somebody like this can come back and say they're coming back to Liberia, then what's your excuse? People will steal your money, all they want. That's not an excuse. Money can be replaced, but y'all keep making the same mistakes, so that's why the money keep being getting stolen. Excuse me. Don't send your family money home to Liberia. If they're not seeing $500-600 in 1 month, then that you come and send in 3,000, 4,000, that they might come build your house. You kidding me? So don't do it. When they tell you they will steal your money, they didn't steal it from your pocket that you give it to them. You trusted them. So just use that simple logic. If somebody living in Liberia, they're working $100 a month, $200 a month, they're working, that's what they're making. Then you come and put $3,000 in their hand, 4,000, 5,000, they might come buy your house. And then when they take the money, you say, hey, Liberian people can steal. Bro, what you expect? But you don't see those, they don't see that kind of money. That's like you when you're in America. That's like somebody can give you a bag. Yeah. And that's $3 million. Come build my mansion, like 3 million, huh? Okay. What kind of mansion you say you wanted? Oh, 5 stories? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I got you. I got you. That's the same story. Somebody making $100 a month, $200 a month. You can put 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Some of y'all will get in 10,000 set. Then I'm gonna go build a house. So do the math. You get somebody 10,000, they're making $100 a month. Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that ratio. Somebody making $100 a month, $200 a month, but you can't get in 10,000. They're gonna come build a house. So that's how you'll be losing money. A bunch of other negative things, obviously people say, which I'm not saying everything is false, but there's negativity everywhere. There's negativity in America. You pick your poison. That's your country. I feel like you don't really have a choice. Um, Even if you say no, nobody's telling you to go back home to relocate. Obviously, we know there's not a lot of opportunities until you're in a position to create your own opportunities. Then all of a sudden, there's a lot of opportunities. But if you're not somebody who can create opportunities, basically, AKA an entrepreneur, a business person, no, then there's no jobs in Liberia. You can't go back home and work. Um, so another way that I want to try to help my people Liberians, especially the ones in diaspora, because that's only people that watch this channel. People in Liberia, they don't watch channels like this. So that's y'all making this channel. So we can try to get our mindset right too. Because just because we in America doesn't mean our mindset is that much different than the people who still live in Liberia. Sometimes we got the same mindset. We just come to a better place. We work harder, we make more money, so we're able to have nicer houses, nicer cars. But this system has a way of trapping you in a system of debt, doesn't it? So that's a whole different topic to talk about. First, I gotta start off by telling y'all that we should be investing back home. We should be giving back to our country. We should, if you don't have that interest, you should find ways of trying to spark that interest. So if you're here with me right now, that's a spark in that interest. Obviously, take action back home. You don't have to be rich. We can show you ways how to do it. But the mindset also, while you're doing that, also has to be evolving. We come here and we fall into the system, especially a lot of Liberians who were at an age maybe a little bit older. Y'all come here and it's just work, 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 work. And as a reward for working so hard, why not get this car note? Why not get this bigger house? Why not finance the TV on the credit card? Why not finance the couch and do this and do that and do that? That. Next thing you know, you make it $5,000 a month, but your expenses are about 4,200, 4,300. So that little bit of $700, and I can't work hard this month. Let me just treat myself. This place here, I go for dinner. I do this one. Oh, let me go on vacation. This one. Next thing you know, you're trapped in the system. There's no way that you can do things like invest back in your country, um, build a house back home, start a business. You can't do those things because you're trapped into the system. Now, this system was designed like that. It wasn't necessarily designed for us, people who came from Africa and came over here. It wasn't designed for us, but when you're thrown into an environment, it doesn't matter if it was designed for you or not. But look how the Indian people, the Pakistani, look how they work the system. They work the system. Um, there are some Africans that work the system. Obviously, we know Nigerians. Nigerians are hustlers, they're business people. And every Nigerian I talk to, they're going back home like Nigeria. It's strange that you'll talk to a Nigerian, not just a quick conversation, 1 minute, but really have a conversation with them, talk to them. Go ahead, ask them about Nigeria. A lot of them tell you, "Oh yeah, I went last year." "Oh yeah, I just came back from there." Nigerians, yeah. Not only are they hustlers, they work in the system, but they're working the system to invest back in their country. As a result, the country is on the rise. It's on the move. Ghana's next. Senegal, Ivory Coast, Gambia. These countries are on the move. They're on the move. But when you talk to the people, you can see why. Now go and talk to Liberian man. Now maybe you'll talk to the right one that'll prove me wrong. Because I do. Sometimes I talk to them. Um, I talk to them and some people tell me, "Oh yeah, Liberia, yeah, they show me their house. I'm doing this, I'm doing that." That's what I like to see. I like to hear that. But some of them would tell you, "Oh no, Liberia, oh no, 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 I'm going back. Nah, not me." They'll make it seem like there's no way they can go back. They can't go back. How am I gonna go back to Liberia? But then 3 months from now, you see them on Facebook. They in Italy, they in Rome, they in Australia, vacation. Oh, okay, okay. I see. I see you. We the only ones that talk bad about our own country and tell others from our country not to go back to our country. Instead, stay in this rat trap, in the rat race, work till you die, save your 401k, and have a comfortable death, hopefully. Mhm. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe I need to explain it to me. Somebody need to come on here and explain to me why that happens. But I think that's the major difference between Liberia and the other countries in the West. And I love when people throw the war out there. Oh, Liberia been through war. Well, we're coming. You know we're going with that. Rwanda. I love watching videos about Rwanda. That country seems like a great country. I actually want to go there. I want to go to Rwanda. Can you imagine if somebody was to watch on YouTube, watch a country, Liberia, Rwanda, whatever, Maybe they just heard somebody saying something about it, so they go home and they do research and they watch a country and that makes them want to go to that country. Can you imagine the next step if that person actually had things set up in place to get them back to that country? Like Rwanda, like Tanzania? How many people out here going to Zanzibar? I mean, Rwanda, why even mention Rwanda? Because we all know Rwanda's history, the bloody history. Might even be worse than Liberia's. I'm pretty sure it's worse than Liberia's. Either way, worse or not, they still went through something similar and they were able to bounce back and completely transform their country. So if they can, why are we still holding on um, to that excuse? So when people say, "Oh, because of the war," I mean, the war didn't just end in that country. Why are we still using that excuse? Or how much longer? How much longer do we have to use that? It will be 2030. We'll still be talking about war that happened, that ended 97. So somebody keep bugging me with this text. So yeah, my people, I didn't want to leave y'all with that. Okay, I'm on this thing almost 1 hour now. I was only supposed to be on here 30 minutes. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Thanks guys for subscribing. Thanks guys for joining me on live. Um, Darling, have you heard about the Liberian Amazon executive who is building a smart city in Marshall? Dr. Ziyama is his name. Actually, no, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna screenshot that. See, that's what research looks like. I'm gonna go and do some research on it. I'm definitely do some research on that. That would be fantastic. I would love to see that. But appreciate you guys for rocking out with me. Hope you guys stay tuned for more videos. Hope you guys are ready to jump on this live with me. I don't want to be just coming on here talking to myself. You guys better come on here with me. Next time I come on here, y'all be ready to jump on. So think about from now to then what you want to talk about, what you want to ask me, input, comments, all those good things, and we're gonna jump on here and we're gonna start connecting. So y'all not be shy. If you can jump on, you can turn your camera off. But I'll still tell you to turn your camera on, but you can turn it off. So catch you guys next time around. Appreciate you guys. And I need like a little mantra or something to be saying, but I don't know. I'll think of one. Um, there can't be a change in Liberia until we become the change. Maybe that'll be it right there. All right, y'all. Thanks for rocking with me. Till next time around.